2015 Dodge Durango. If you ever gotta move one of these and it won't start, it locks it in park. You go in your glove box, lift up that, there's a lever. You slide the lock key over, lift it, you can put it, and that locks it into neutral. You can push it, and then when you're done, you just push the lock key over, push the lever down, and let it lock itself, and you can roll the car, which is how we got it on the trailer. Fuel pump went out. We've already tested in the fuel relay and all that. All has power. Definitely the fuel pump. Let's get under here and show you why these are a nightmare. This here is your fuel tank. Oh, but wait, it gets better. That there is your fuel tank. There and here. And it's a one-piece unit. So if you look up here, see, it goes all the way across. So what you have to do, you get to take your exhaust off. This is a four-wheel drive model. You take your drive shaft off. Then you do, well, we'll get to it. You got to disconnect all your lines, drain the gas out, lower it. Thankfully, when this happened, he's got a little less than a quarter of a tank, so that's a good thing. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to undo all these, get the exhaust dropped, then I'm going to get the drive shaft done, and then we'll come back when I start disconnecting all the lines, and then we got to undo all these bolts. Well, oh, right here. Getting ahead of myself, but okay. There's all these bolts that hold the tank up. We gotta undo all these. We're gonna have to drop this shield. And on that side, we don't have a shield, but we'll have the gas tank bolts. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a jack here and a jack over there. And then I'll just lower them together and get the fuel tank down that way. The fuel tank, or the fuel pump, is on this side. It's only a fuel level gauge transfer over there. Fuel pump's on this side. So, but it don't matter. We still got to drop the whole tank. And like I said, we got to undo the whole exhaust. So I'll get back with you when we start undoing all these fuel lines. And of course, Dodge, how they always put the filler at the very bottom of the tank. So we'll have to put a container under here when we undo this, because all the gas is going to drain. So that's where we're at. I'll be back with you when we get the exhaust and drive shaft out. We got the drive shaft out. You got to pull all the Allen head bolts on there. There's two, I think it was 14 or 15 millimeter bolts here. And then you got to pull all these out. It will come out. If it don't want to come out, hit it with the hammer, lightly tap it just to vibrate it, and it'll pull out. This is all it is. Right there, that slides in there. You line your bolts up and you put them in. All right. The only thing we got left now, I'm done for the night. We got to disconnect our fuel lines up here. I know it's getting dark. I'll get a light out here tomorrow when I'm doing this. There's a couple fuel lines up here, and then we just got to undo all these bolts, and then we can drop this tank assembly down and get at the fuel pump. That's where we're at. And like I said, I'm calling it a night for tonight. I gotta get up early to go to work. So we'll get a jack under. I don't know, I might just put a board across here and do it that way, because once I undo the fuel fill, I'm going to drain all the fuel out of the tank. So I might be able to just put a board across here with one jack and lower it down. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. The exhaust, I just undid this front here, and I undid these two hangers right here. They unbolt, one on each side. I undid the hanger back there, and it went off to the side enough to give me room. The drive shaft, you got to remove the front, middle, and rear, and you got to take that entirely out. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're ready to do the tank, and like I said, that'll be tomorrow. So we just got a couple fuel clips done, do the fuel neck filler, and have a container handy. Because, like I said, all the fuel's going to come out, and then we'll just lower it down to the fuel pump, put it back in, and bolt it all back together. So, I know, not very good look, but I don't have a hoist. I'm doing this at home on jack stands, but that's what we're looking at. I'll have better lighting out here tomorrow. The exhaust, these donuts are good, so I'm not going to replace them. I'll be able to just bolt it together. None of these broke, so I'll just push it up in there and put the nuts back on. That'll be good. This is about one of the worst WUDs. If you got the front wheel drive, there's no drive shaft here. If you got the all-wheel drive, you got to do the exhaust and the drive shaft. Kind of a pain. But as you see, the tank is all one piece, and the exhaust and drive shaft go through here. So you do have to take these shields off to get the drive shaft out. There's two shields that goes over the midship bearing. This one goes over the drive shaft itself, sound deadening, heat shield. So we will be putting that back. That just goes on these screws here. Deep dish 13 mil. All right, I'm done rambling. We'll get out here tomorrow. This is what you always want to see when you're doing a fuel pump. Somebody's been in here before. This is your plug for your fuel pump and all that. We have a wire right there. That shouldn't be there. So that means one of these wires ain't working. So is it a fuel pump, or is it this wire that went bad? This creates a whole new problem. So, yay. So, well, we're gonna have to take it down. We're gonna have to figure out where that wire goes, and the only way to know that is get in there, because when I dropped the tank, this side of the plug, I'm at this, they didn't put a splice there, so I'm gonna have to just cut it, and I'm gonna have to see exactly what the hell's going on there. And so is it actually a bad fuel pump, or if do we have a different issue? This is how I just found it, and now we gotta figure out what's going on here. So I'll be back with you guys when I know something, because, you know, now do we need a fuel pump or don't we? So let's find out. Oh, okay, after undoing the fuel line, I misspoke. You do not pull that out. They are a push button. This one does have, where's the fuel line? I'm sorry, right there. This one does have a little red retainer clip I got set up there. These do not. What you do is you got to push. That's actually a button. I don't know how well you're going to see that. You push it in, and then you push the line together and pull it apart. I got that one undone already. This one's proven problematic. What I'm using is, I got a pair of, okay, I had, there they are. I'm using a pair of angle or 90-degree pair of pliers. I just got that one undone, and you gotta get it just right on there and push that button in, and then push the line together and pull it apart. This one's a little bit harder. I just can't get the right angle, but that's what you gotta do on these. You push that in, and as you can see, that one's undone, fuel line's undone. Once this is undone, we're ready to drop the tank. So let me get that off and go from there. We'll be right back. Okay, you got to undo this. No fuel's going to come out of there. It's got an anti-siphon ball valve in there, so nothing's coming out. Now here's our fuel pump right here. Now this one's like the fuel line. It has a little clip on there, so we got to remove that safety clip. Here's the wiring. Again, you got to get that little clip pulled out, and then you can pull the wire off. And then what we're going to do is just turn this. We're going to clean this first before we try opening that, but we got to remove this plug and this line here. That's for our fuel line for the suction, or yeah, where it goes to the motor. So we're gonna get this off. We're gonna clean this up, and then we'll just take a hammer and we're gonna hit this. Now you have to watch. You can't just yank this pump out. I'll show you, because there's a line from the other side of the tank that comes over and connects down inside there. So you have to be careful removing this so you don't break that line, because that's how it sucks fuel from that side. So that's where we're at. Let me get these two lines off, clean this up, and I'm gonna take a hammer, knock this ring loose, and then I'll get back with you. Because when you're pulling the fuel pump, you also have to remove, you also have to remove the float level, because it will not go in and out with that on. So you pull the pump up a little bit, you remove that, which again, I'm getting ahead of myself, we'll show you, but then you got to remove that other line to the other side of the tank. So once I get this cleaned up, I'll turn it back on and we'll pull it together. All right, we got the ring off. I did one final wipe because you get a bunch of dirt under there. Now, kind of keep track of how your orientation is on this. This is going to be full of fuel, so I have a container there ready to catch it. Oh, what I do with my little pick? Okay. And that's all you gotta do. Pop it out of them clips. We'll put the other one in. Then you gotta get the right. There you go. And then that'll come out right through that little groove there. Right like so. We got to put the new one in the same way. So don't get in a, like I said, don't get overzealous on this. You got to try getting this thing out now, because we got to get it out. And there's our fuel line right there. Let's let some of that drain back into the tank. And you can see that's our fuel line we got to do, and that has got double clips on it. Sorry, I only got two hands, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. And I just lost my little pick again. I'll show you how I do this clip here in a minute. Okay, now we can let this, all right, that's done draining. What you're gonna do on this clip, when this is in like that, you're gonna squeeze these two here, and then it, you know, you can use the hook, or that's why I kind of use the hook, because you know, if this is hooked to the pump, it's easier. But you're just going to squeeze these together and it'll lift up like that. That's in the open position. Now we can just let that fall right back in the tank, and we're ready to put the new pump in. We will pull this seal out. We'll put a new seal in there. So be right back. Okay, I already took the strainer or the float level off of this one, which would be right there. It's already been removed. So now we're gonna reach in here, get our fuel line, push that in,